Hello, I'm Ian Hadranto, and my group consisting of Ria, Judy, Yonghong, and Jingjie will be presenting to you a podcast about our space exploration project. Now, I'll hand over the time to Ria to talk about the historical background and give you an introduction about space exploration. Enjoy!
I am Ria, and my group and I will be talking about this topic of space exploration. From our small world, we have gazed upon the cosmic ocean for untold thousands of years. Ancient astronomers observed points of light that appeared to move among the stars. They called these objects planets. In the 17th century, astronomers pointed a new device called the telescope at the heavens and made startling discoveries. The first steps of putting a man-made object into space were taken by German scientists during World War II. Advancements in rocketry after World War II enabled our machines to break the grip of Earth's gravity and travel to the Moon and to other planets. The United States has sent automated spacecraft, then human-crewed expeditions to explore the Moon. The first scientific exploration from space was the Cosmic Radiation Experiment launched by the US on a V-2 rocket on 10 May 1946. Our automated machines have orbited and landed on Venus and Mars, explored the Sun's environment, observed comets and asteroids. The first human successful spaceflight was Vostok 1, carrying 27-year-old Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin on 12 April 1961. The US first launched a person into space within a month of Vostok 1 with Alan Shepard's flight in Mercury Redstone 3. These travelers brought a quantum leap in our knowledge and understanding of the solar system. Through the electronic sight and other sensors of our automated spacecraft, color and complexion have been given to worlds that for centuries appeared to our eyes as fuzzy disks or indistinct points of lights, and dozens of previously unknown objects have been discovered. Future historians will likely view these pioneering flights through the solar system as one of the most remarkable achievements of the 20th century.
Thank you, Ria, for that comprehensive introduction and historical background of space exploration. Now we will move on to important milestones and figures of space exploration. Some of these are well known and some of these are not that well known. However, all of them made their impact, and let's see what Judy has in store for us.
I am Druti. We have had many milestones in our history of space exploration. One of the most recent is the Apollo 11 landing. Apollo 11 was the spacecraft that landed the first human, Americans Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, on the Moon on July 20, 1969. Armstrong became the first human to step onto the Moon 6 hours later on July 21st. Armstrong spent about 2.5 hours outside the spacecraft and they collected 47.5 pounds of lunar material for return to Earth. A third member, Michael Collins, piloted the command spacecraft alone in the lunar orbit until Armstrong and Aldrin returned to it for the trip back to Earth. A lesser-known milestone is that of the Vostok 1 spaceflight. Vostok 1 was the first spaceflight in the Vostok program and the first human spaceflight in history. The Vostok 3KA spacecraft was launched on April 12, 1961. The flight took Yuri Gagarin, a cosmonaut from the Soviet Union, into space. The flight marked the first time that a human entered outer space, as well as the first orbital flight of a manned vehicle. Vostok 1 was launched by the Soviet space program and was designed by the Soviet engineers. Due to the secrecy surrounding the Soviet space program at the time, many details of the space flight only came to light years later, and several details in the original press releases turned out to be false.
Thank you, Judy, for those interesting milestones of space exploration. There are certainly many more milestones that affected this field in many ways. However, those two were arguably the most important milestones of all these milestones combined. Now, we will move on to the topic of current space discoveries. It will be presented to you by Yonghong.
I'm Yonghong and I will be covering the topic of current space discoveries. Firstly, on October 9, 2009, NASA's L-CROSS or Lunar Crater Observing and Sensing Satellite struck water in a cold, permanently dark area at the south pole of the Moon. The L-CROSS was a NASA probe designed to impact the moon, while a small satellite followed behind it and measured the chemical makeup of the material that was ejected. After a year of data analysis, NASA reported that its mission found water ice in the floor of the permanently shadowed crater its probe impacted. Later data from 3 different spacecraft indicate a thin film of water coats the surface of the soil in at least some areas. In 2011, NASA released a statement, along with photos, saying that they have evidence that there might be flowing water on Mars. The time-lapse shot appeared to show liquid running down the planet's rocky surface landscape to form long, dark flow patterns. Scientists' best guess is that the flows are salty water which warms up just enough during the planet's summer months to melt and slosh around on the surface. Signs that Mars once had flowing water have been seen before, but this is the first time that such markings have been observed changing over a short period of time. In December of 2011, NASA confirmed the discovery of the first planet found in the habitable zone of a Sun-like star. They named the planet Kepler-22b. The planet is about 2.5 times the radius of Earth and orbits comfortably within the habitable zone. Scientists are unsure of the composition of the planet, but the discovery has proven to be a huge step in finding the twin Earth.
Thank you, Yonghong, for that detailed speech of current space discoveries. If there really is a twin Earth out there, we may just have found our answers to our current problems that we face on Earth, problems such as global warming and lack of materials. Now, we will move on to our next topic, that is future trends and discoveries of space exploration. And this is linked to our last topic, that is current space discoveries, as it will see how we will manage with this twin Earth. And this topic will be presented to you by yours truly. The future is uncertain and is certainly worth keeping an eye out for. At this point in time, this is all I have for you. I will now hand over the time to my group member, Jingjie, who will conclude our podcast about space exploration.
In the past, humans were only able to gaze at the stars and dream. With the aid of modern-day technology, humans are now able to send probes and other machines into space, an astonishing feat. However, even with the advancements of technology, what we can do is still rather limited. At this time and age, it is still not very feasible to send humans into space. Although we can send humans into space, they are still unable to complete several tasks, as they are confined inside a spacesuit. It's rather costly as well to send a human to do tasks which are meant for machines. It will cost at least 10 times more to send humans instead of robots. For now, we are still only able to deploy robots and machines to do tasks for us, but possibly in the future, scientists may send humans instead of machines deep into space for research. Scientists hope that one day an astronaut may be able to lead robots on expeditions to space instead of having to just remotely control the robots.
Thank you, Jingjie, for that wonderful conclusion. I also thank you for your time. I hope that you have found this educational and you have enjoyed it. Thank you.